How's it going, guys? As always, I am Braxton Wheeler, your host here.
Might be some ladies out there too that watch.
Oh, ladies, how you doing, ladies? Good to see you. I'm Braxton Wheeler, host of First Pitch. So join with me is head coach Ryan Brittle. Coach, how you doing? As always,
I'm doing okay, man. Late night last night for everybody. Got home from some JV games and some varsity games, and ready to get back on the road again today.
That's right. Tough one yesterday, but we're 5-1 in our last 6 games, riding a 5-game conference win streak, and we're playing great baseball. So I guess we'll jump right into the series of Methodist, 2-game series. Number 4 team in the nation, and we were able to come out with 2 big wins. Coach, let's start with game 1. Jay Collin went 7 innings, struck out 9, didn't give up a run, and we won the game 2-0. It was a close contest throughout. It was definitely a great pitching matchup. Luke went 1.2 innings and 5 Ks and struck out all the outs he needed to, and Luke's pitching great. But Coach, what are your thoughts on game 1?
Obviously, Jake and the pitching staff did a good job. I thought we played good defense in game 1, and we scratched across a couple runs, and were able to hold on to a close lead, which we've done. Really the last 4 conference games, been within 2 runs, and right now offensively, we're not swinging it real good, and so when you're not swinging it good, you got to pitch it well, play defense, and you got to manufacture a run here and there, and squeak out some close wins, and we've done just that. Our energy was pretty good this weekend. Game 2, Joey Pride, he nothing but guts out there on the mound. He gutted it out. I think he struck out 13 and didn't walk a single guy. And what a great performance by him as well to keep us in a ball game. And we ended up scoring. I think Callahan got a hit late in the 8th inning, and we scored a run to make it 4-3. And then we had a rally in the 9th and won it on a ground ball to third base. He's spiked in the dirt. And the funny thing, well, I guess not the funny thing, but one of the crazy things is their first baseman picked everything.
Every single thing.
Everything the whole time. And then the last throw of the game was a ball in the dirt, and he couldn't quite come up with it, and it ended up costing them the game. So great series win for us. We were unable to play the 3rd game of the series on Saturday because we got 10 inches of snow, and but good 2 wins for us, and good momentum hopefully going into this weekend, and we'll just forget about the Emory and Henry game and move along.
That's fine. Yeah, what was funny about that second game is like Coach said, every single time, our dugout, every time that first baseman would pick a ball and keep picking the ball, we were like, man, something's got to give. So when Kyle hit that ball to third, we knew. Like the whole dugout was just, we were chirping in his ear too since he was right there. We were chirping, and next thing we saw that ball hit the dirt, and I knew this one went past him. So it was awesome. It was fun. It was really exciting. Drew went 3 for 4 that game. Jake Martin came up with a huge hit in that 9th inning to start it out. I believe the first pitch double down the line. It was knew right there we had a good chance to get something going. And like you said, it was a huge for our team. Not only just to win 1-1, but since we took 2, it's huge for us. So anyway, we have a 5-game conference win streak, like you said. What is important to tell the guys when we are having success?
Just to focus on the fundamentals for me, to focus on the process of winning baseball games, and not trying to be the guy that gets the hit or the guy that makes the play. Just to focus on the process, to do your job, and to continue to, really for us, the key to this little streak we've been on is the energy that we've had, the intensity that we've had, and the focus that we've had. Because we played Emory and Henry yesterday. We lost 8-5, and that's what was missing in our game yesterday, was the energy, the intensity, and the focus. And it just wasn't there, and we weren't able to overcome the mistakes that we made, and ended up losing 8-5. We had a tie ball game in the 6th or 7th inning, I think, and they scored a few runs in the 7th, and we couldn't get back in it. But the energy that we've had is key to our success right now.
Yeah, and Sometimes when you're losing some games and stuff and struggling at first, you have to come together and do everything you can and have passion and energy to win, and that's what we've done. So the goal is to maintain that, not fall off. When you have success, sometimes you see teams fall off, and we're definitely this weekend. I'm sure we're bringing a good amount of people, I believe, and I think especially when we have our bullpen. Sometimes when our bullpen when we sit in the bullpen, lose some of that energy, and I think when we all come down there and get away from the buckets and stuff, I believe.
Braxton's our energizer guy. He's our cheerleader in the dugout. He does a fantastic job keeping people involved, and when he's not in there, it makes a difference. And there's several other guys too, but it certainly makes a difference when those guys are involved in the game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I understand it's fun. It really is fun. If you're going to be out there and have energy, you might as well just make it as fun as possible. So let's talk a little bit about the JV games this week. We played two. They played two yesterday versus Surrey, and then one the previous day before PH, Coach.
So our young guys that don't get a whole lot of time in the varsity lineup, were able to get on the field and get some experience and do some good things. They went to Patrick Henry. I think took a 3-run lead into the 8th inning, and weren't able to hold on to it. But what great experience that is for our guys. Good to get those guys, those pitchers, back up on the mound and get them some innings. Ty Lamb threw the ball well, I heard, and some other guys too. But Seeley played well at short, I believe, and we got a few hits out of Austin Vernon and a few of the other guys. I think Greg White had a 2 RBI single, and it's great for those guys that do all the same work as everybody else. To get out there on the field and to be able to compete and play and make themselves better, and it'll help our program get better as well. They went down to Surrey yesterday and played 2 games, and kind of the same thing. They were able to get some innings in on the mound and get some ABs, and even some of our older guys or some of the guys that are in the varsity lineup that aren't playing so good or hitting so well. I think Christian Campbell had a good day yesterday. Yeah. And got a few hits, so it's good to hear that. But Coach Fouts does a good job with that JV club, and it's good to have. I hope that everybody appreciates that and uses it to make themselves better, so they can be contributors. Because we're going to need them this coming week. We got a lot of ball games this coming week.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of games, and a lot of times. Sometimes the freshmen can get discouraged, but with playing some of the developmental games, and it's not. I mean, every single person that grew up throughout this program was in their shoes, and it's important to understand. And a lot of the juniors, pretty much every single person at some point has experienced those games, and they are important. They really are. As much sometimes people think that they may or may not be, they are important, and especially can win you spots sometimes and put your name on the travel roster, such as this weekend. So let's talk about this weekend. North Carolina Wesleyan, it's winding down conference play. We only have two regular season conference series this week, and then LaGrange. But let's go ahead and keep our focus on Wesleyan and talk about this weekend.
So Wesleyan, I know this is their last conference series. So they're looking to bolster their record to try and secure their spot in the conference tournament, and obviously we are as well. We go into a hostile environment. North Carolina Wesleyan has traditionally been, in the old Dixie Conference, it was Ferrum, North Carolina Wesleyan, and Methodist that traditionally competed for the conference championship. So, been many battles down there. Coach Long does a great job with their program, so they'll be ready to play. It'll be a tough battle, but we get Holland and Pride and Callahan on the mound. We can beat just about anybody. So we'll go down there and we'll compete hard, and we'll see where we come up at the end.
And we're set to leave today at 4:00 and scheduled to play tomorrow and 2 on Saturday. As of
now, we're supposed to play 2 tomorrow starting at noon. There's some rain in the forecast, and then we'll play 1 on Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. And last week was our versus Cancer Day, and Saturday will be North Carolina Wesleyan's versus Cancer Day. So we'll be able to we'll be able to take part in that, and there'll be a couple representatives from Versus Cancer there that want to talk to our team and thank us for what we did, and so it'll be good to be a part of that, continue to be a part of that. But we look forward to going down there and competing. They got a good club. They got some good pitchers on the mound. I know Nate Gardner's having a good year, and he'll be tough to beat. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to the challenge this weekend. So a couple general questions, Coach. How is recruiting going for the future of Ferrum baseball? And is there ever a time that you and the staff isn't working on recruiting?
We got a fire alarm.
Hey, we got a fire alarm. That's unfortunate.
What's going on?
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There has been a fire emergency reported in the building. Please evacuate the building by the nearest
That's a
exit.
test?
Do not use the elevators.
This will be a good blooper.
Hey,
We'll continue, I guess.
this is actually a test, a fire alarm test, so it's not a true fire alarm. It should go off hopefully in a minute, and we'll get back to our
May I have your
interview.
attention, please? May I have your attention?
All right, well, we're back in a new change of scenery.
No more fire alarm.
Yes.
We're out of the Norton Center. They're having a test of the fire alarm over there, and it kept going off, so we moved, and we're going to finish the show from over here in the baseball complex.
Yeah, we only had 2 questions left, and I guess, yes, like you said, something went wrong. So anyway, Coach, what I was asking was, how is recruiting going for the future of Ferrum baseball? Is there ever a time that you and the staff isn't working on recruiting?
So recruiting is a never-ending process, and if you don't believe me, just ask my wife. But recruiting's going well. We got several guys that we have that paid deposits and have committed to come play baseball at Ferrum College. A good start to a pitching staff in this recruiting class. A couple middle infielders, 2 or 3 hitters, outfielder, a catcher that we like a lot. A lot of local guys in this class. I think all the guys so far are from the state of Virginia. But we've been on a few North Carolina guys and a couple other guys too. But pleased with the way this recruiting class is going. We got several guys that we need to get wrapped up to finish this thing off. And, we'll get out this spring soon. In fact, Coach Kent was out this past week watching a ball game, and the rest of us will be out this spring and watching ball games and trying to find the next Braxton Wheeler so we can win a few more ball games.
That's right. Yeah, what's interesting, it's like you feel like, because I'll be a senior next year on the field, and it's interesting how it feels like yesterday that you were just coming here and walking around with the coaches and eating in the cafeteria and seeing the other guys, and it's like, man, I'm a little intimidating because they're older and stuff, and you want to make a good first impression. And now it's like the recruits that I see coming to the CAF now, next year would possibly be, if they would be, next year's class would be the last class that I would play with. So it's crazy how fast it goes. It really flies by.
It goes by fast. The years go by fast, and the number of gray hairs in my head seem to multiply fast too.
Yeah, life keeps on taking its toll, Coach. And finally, what is just your favorite part about living in Ferrum, Virginia?
So my favorite part about Ferrum is the people. Fantastic people here. We've gone through some times over the last few months where our power was out, or we needed, we've been doing the foster parenting classes, so we've needed babysitters, and there's always somebody there to, bring you a generator, bring you some food, help you out babysitting wise. It's a fantastic place. The people are great. I tell people all the time, and hopefully people don't take this the wrong way, but you can go up here to the Ferrum Minute Market, and there'll probably be some guy with no shirt on and a pair of bibbed overalls, and he'll be the nicest guy and do anything for you. And all you have to do is ask. And there's great people here at Ferrum. It's a fantastic place to raise a family. My kids are in school right here within a mile of campus, and they're safe, they're protected, and it's a good place. It's a good place to live.
Yeah, since I have to agree exactly with Coach. Since I went to Franklin County High School and everything. The people, my parents always talk about it. They take time just to talk to you and get to know you. Everything's not such a rush, and it's hard for some people that's not from this area to understand the culture around it. And it really is. It's a great down to earth place to live. So that's all I have, Coach. We're set to leave this evening to go play a big series this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. And is that it, Coach?
That's it, man. Ready to go.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you again next week for another episode. Thanks.